Morning, guys. How you doing? Hey, I feel like I have not been on a live stream for such a long time. It hasn't actually been that long, but morning, guys. So it's Anna Brooks here, and welcome to today's episode of Anna's Dose of Reality. So today, this is episode 6 that we're up to now. And I'm doing it on the go today because decided to do it on the go. That's my reason. Yep, that's really exciting. All right, so let me get into it. What we're going to be talking about today is the taboo topic around consistency, right? And so this is something that I guess you've heard me, and you've probably heard a lot of people just drone on and on and on about consistency is everything when it comes to your goals, especially when it comes to health and fitness, but of course anything really. And you've just heard me always drone on and on about consistency, right? So what you do, you have to commit to it, you have to do it consistently, you can't just flake in and out of it. The whole thing that makes the difference is actually doing it over and over and over and sticking with it, as opposed to just doing it for a couple of days or a few hours and then getting out and then going round and round and all that kind of thing, right? So you understand kind of the process of consistency, the fact that you're not going to get the results that you want unless you actually go ahead and do the things over and over consistently. By the way, if this is your first time on a live stream, say hi, let me know you're there. All right, so let me talk about the thing that has been coming up for me and for a few people lately around consistency, and why I say that this is like the taboo topic around consistency, because it kind of gets forgotten that consistency actually means, wait for it, this is the big part really. Consistency actually means doing the work when you don't want to do it, when things are hard, when things aren't working out the way they want, right? So people will always say, oh, I'm so consistent. Let me just get better light. There we go. People will be like, oh, I'm really, really consistent, like I always do. When I'm on a roll, I'm going to the gym every day, I've got my food prepped, everything's all good, and I really am. I'm very consistent. And that's all well and good, but what happens when the shit hits the fan? What happens when things are not working out the way that you wanted them to? Basically, when, someone gets sick in the family. If you have kids, for example, that's always one that tends to throw everyone. Someone gets sick, or you get sick, or your schedule suddenly changes, something comes up, something unexpected or urgent comes up. Whatever it is, like we all have things in life that just happen. That's just the nature of life. It flows and it does things, right? So what happens when that actually comes up, right? Because this is where a lot of people falter and they forget the consistency, right? This is the big thing. Consistency means very little when you're talking about when you're in flow, when things are working, when things are easy, when you are able to just kind of keep the momentum going. That consistency doesn't really mean much. That's just momentum. That's just you being in the flow, things are working, go, go, go. That doesn't actually mean much compared to being consistent when you don't want to be. That is the thing that actually matters. When things are hard, when you are sore, you're tired, you're too much going on, people got sick, your schedule's changed, whatever it is. The consistency that comes from actually doing the work when it's hard, when you don't want to do it, when everything is against you, basically, that's what actually makes the difference. And this is the part that so many people get confused on and forget, because I get it. Like, that's when you think you have excuses, right? And this is a big thing, is when you believe your own excuses, that's when you tend to falter. So a lot of the time we'll go, well, no, this sounds really legitimate. Like, oh, all the kids got sick at once, or I had to suddenly get called away for work, or whatever it is. Like, we all have 50 million different things that can happen to us, right? And as long as they sound legitimate to you, you don't even realize that you are using that as an excuse to get out of consistency, right? So this is the thing that it grinds me, and it grinds me because I see myself do it as well, and I have to pull myself up on it when I do this as well. I don't have kids, so I can't use the excuse of kids being sick, but trust me, I find other excuses, and I have to pull myself up on it and be like, well, no, if you've decided that you're going to go through with this, if you've decided that you're actually going to commit and be consistent, that means be consistent when you can't be fucked, when the shit is hitting the fan, when you're tired, when everything's going against you, when basically if you wanted to, you could quite logically find like 1,000 reasons why and excuses why and make them really legitimate and all that kind of stuff why you shouldn't be consistent. But that's when it actually matters, right? So you need to kind of take that veil off. And this is, like I said, I'm calling myself on my own shit as much as I am you. Take that veil off of just thinking, oh yeah, I'm really consistent with what I'm doing. And, you know, when I have a good week, I mean, my God, my food's on point, my training's on point, I'm getting enough sleep, I'm drinking all my water, I'm ticking all the boxes. Great. But what about the weeks that doesn't happen? What about the weeks when things do get out of hand and you don't know how to actually get through it? Because that is what consistency is. Consistency is not maintaining and keeping things going when things are easy. Consistency is actually working through and maintaining it when things are hard, right? Because anyone can be consistent when it's easy. When you have the energy, when everything's working out, when everyone's being wonderful and supporting you and blah, 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 anyone can do that. That's not hard when things are easy. Things are hard when things are hard, obviously. So if you're actually going to be in that position where you're always going to flake out whenever something does get hard, whenever something does come up that's basically throwing you off course or just stalling you and giving you legitimate sounding reasons why you shouldn't continue and shouldn't be consistent, that's when it actually makes the difference. Okay. So I hope that's making sense. Leave a comment, let me know what your takeaway points are of this, or maybe even just what you're committing to be more consistent on this. For sure with me, it is always comes back to my eating. It can just really ebb and flow between certain, days when I feel really on and then when I feel really off. And you know how it is, you get into like a routine and if you're feeling really, really great, and then something throws you off, and before you know it, you've lost that consistency, right? So I'm putting it out there as a public statement, and I'm hoping that you're going to come on board, put in your commitment, put in your consistency statement below what you're going to actually commit to. So I'm committing to being really, really consistent with my food and my diet, purely because I know I want the results. Summer's on its way, and I know where I want to be. So that is my commitment that I'm making publicly. And I'd love for you to share if you have a commitment that you're seeing now. Okay, yep, I've made this commitment and I've been consistent when it's good, when it's easy, when everything's worked out to plan. But as soon as things haven't gone to plan, I've had a tendency to take the pedal off and just kind of come up with excuses and forget that consistency means being consistent when it's hard. Pop a comment down below, let me know what you're going to commit to, and let's keep each other accountable, basically, because I'm going to be checking in on this. I feel like this is a bit of a vibe that I'm getting at the moment around consistency and around showing up and around actually committing to what you want long term, as opposed to using the excuses of what's easy or whatever in the short term. Okay? All right. Cool. I think that's everything for now. I'm going to leave that episode nice and short today, actually, because I'm going to go do some journaling now. But I'd love to know what your takeaway points are from this, what you're going to commit to. Please leave a comment below. I will check them after the live stream if you're rewatching this later. Otherwise, have a fantastic day and remember to live life on purpose. Bye, guys.